some marks from this. Anyway, so I must, convey my sincere thanks to the organizers of this teachers meet, philosophy teachers meet, for kindly inviting me here. And I would like to congratulate the philosophy department of Panjab University for for accepting enthusiastically the ICPR offer to organize these kinds of meet. Some of you are perhaps aware that ICPR used to organize refresher courses for university and college teachers, but there were some technical problems in organizing refresher courses by ICPR because UGC organizes these courses with the help of academic staff college in different universities. So there were some formalities that needed to be done, which were not done in a proper way. So instead of that, what we thought recently that instead of organizing refresher courses for 21 days, having a specific formal structure prescribed by UGC, instead of having that, we can organize these kinds of philosophy college and university teachers meet for say 2 days or 3 days. And the idea was this, that many of the colleges, including some universities, we are all part of this system, so we are all aware of the problems that the colleges face. Most of the colleges don't have adequate infrastructure, so most of the college teachers don't have access, can't afford accessing the philosophical literature, available on the research areas that they are working on, that they are interested in. So we thought that if we can organize these kinds of 2 days or 3 days long philosophy college teachers, college and university teachers meet, where we'll be inviting resource persons from different areas, and they will be delivering lectures on the recent developments of philosophical theories in different areas, major areas of philosophy. So that might help, those who are really, interested or who have already started working on, different research areas, but who don't have the adequate exposure. So it's kind of, if we can, by organizing these kinds of college teachers meet, college and university teachers meet, we can, provide them some input, some inspiration to go ahead in their research pursuit. So with this idea, basically, we are ICPR has planned these kinds of college teachers meet, and in the current financial year, ICPR has picked up 5 different universities in different corners of India, from Kerala to Chandigarh, from Guwahati to to some other places. And I'm very glad to share with you this, that all the places have very enthusiastically responded to our invitation, and all of them have organized these kinds of college teachers meet, and the feedback that we have received is very, very positive, very encouraging. So I was requesting our chairman just the other day that we should organize these kinds of teachers meet more frequently and in more places throughout India, so that every year, if we can organize these kinds of 10-15 college teachers meet, then probably at the end of maybe 3 years, 4 years, you can hope to get some positive result out of this. So I'm very glad and I'm grateful to Panjab University Philosophy Department for taking this initiative. Now we do talk about philosophical developments that have taken place in different areas of philosophy. Of course, all of us, as students of philosophy, we are all aware that this the so-called idea of progress in philosophy, this issue has haunted philosophers down the centuries. Kant raised this issue, and many other philosophers have raised. In what sense do we have progress in philosophy? Now, it is quite interesting to know, that many of the age-old philosophical issues have resurfaced, have reappeared in contemporary philosophical scene though in a different garb, with a different contour. Like say we all are aware of this, perennial debate between realism and, if you want to call it, idealism or anti-realism or whatever. Now this debate has reappeared in contemporary scenes in a very different way, from the perspective of philosophy of language. So you see, the old issues are coming back again, reappearing in the contemporary discussion, in the contemporary discourse, but with a different, different clothing, so to say, in a different garb. I was thinking of this objectivity of values, which is, one of the perennial problems that philosophers are talking about. And also, the whole Kantian problem of, the role of experience in knowledge. Very recently, John McDowell, has started talking about this Kantian issue again. So you see that, as Strawson, I think, at one point said that, there's a massive core of history of ideas which remain unchanged, but which constantly, rephrases itself, questions itself, and reappears in new and new ways. So these are some of the some of the points that perhaps the resource persons who will be delivering the lectures will attest to this. Just at the end, I'm here to basically to listen. So just at the end, I would like to draw your attention to one aspect. The role of philosophy vis-a-vis other disciplines. This issue has been raised, has been deliberated on by different philosophers down the centuries. Some people thought that philosophy should provide a conceptual foundation for physical science. Some people thought that the task of philosophy, is not to provide a foundation of science. Rather, philosophy is contemporaneous with science, so they are fellow travelers. Some people, tried to dig into the foundations of mathematics, and then, the results were, widely felt in philosophy. Some people thought, philosophical ideas are best expressed in literary activities. Okay, so in that sense, poetry is the best medium of doing philosophy. Then some other people thought that philosophy is a kind of grand narrative. We have different kinds of narratives, and philosophy offers us one such grand narrative, which is heavily influenced by the socio-political, scenario. And of course, some people think that philosophy, offers you an emancipatory ideal. Okay, so there are different models of philosophy that we come across in the history of philosophy. Now, all of these different models have their interesting, bearings. Okay? All of them have, quite important to take note of. Perhaps, without getting into the details of the pros and cons of these models, perhaps what is, at least to me, what is important is that, we as practicing philosophers, as students of philosophy, we should be open. We should keep our windows open so that fresh ideas, fresh insights from many other disciplines can come in, and we can encash on those ideas. We can develop philosophical theories, philosophical insights on the basis of those new ideas coming from other disciplines. But at the same time, we should not, we should not create a situation where the philosophical edifice itself is uprooted or gets blown up. Sometimes I think there is a danger, in that. So with these, few stray remarks, I again, thank the Philosophy Department of Panjab University for organizing this teachers meet, and I'm sure that we all will be benefited greatly, by the learned lectures that will be delivered by experts who will be joining us from different parts of the country. So once again, thank you all for being with us today. And hopefully, we will be organizing these kinds of teachers meet more frequently and in present number of places. Thank you very much.